I made it to Jeff Jerome's Deep in the Bush Adventures in eastern Montana. We didn't even get set up and we had a buck come running right in. Stick with us and we'll see when we can put one on the ground.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Hitman Canada.
This week we're with my good friend Anthony Dixon. He's in Billings, Montana, and he's chasing mule deer and antelope with his bow.
He's guided by Jeff Jerome of Deep in the Bush Adventures.
Knowing Anthony, this is sure to be an action-packed episode in Big Sky Country.
Take it away, Anthony.
Well, I jumped on a plane bound for Big Sky Country. In 2 shakes of a speed goat's tail, I was sliding into Billings and on out to the ranch. Man, was I excited. As soon as I got settled in, the outfitter tossed me the keys to a 4x4 truck and encouraged me to go have a little look around, get a lay of the land, and do a little scouting before my hunt started the next morning. I took a short drive around and I was pretty pumped about how much game I was seeing. I was seeing mule deer and spotted some pronghorns. I was pretty excited. Things were looking pretty good. The next morning, the guide dropped me and my cameraman Ben off at a blind in the dark and overlooking a water hole, and he put a decoy up at the edge. It was a classic speed goat setup. We weren't in the blind 5 minutes, and my cameraman looks out the right hand side of the blind. He says, "There's a goat coming." Here come this nice big buck.
I made it to Jeff Jerome's Deep in the Bush Adventures in eastern Montana. And as you saw, we didn't even get set up and we had a buck come running right in. My friend here, Ben, he's a cameraman for me today. He spotted him on the other side of the blind. And he said, "Here's one coming." So we had to get it set up real quick. And he come down. I think he got a little downwind of the blind, or the decoy, and it blew, and he run up a little ways, stuck around for a little while, but he wasn't real tolerant. These bucks are chasing does. We've been seeing them chasing does all around all over the place, so I think the rut's starting to kick in. Things should be good. Stick with us and we'll see when we can put one on the ground.
This portion of Hitman Canada is brought to you by Argo, Sport Chief, Walton Outdoors, Walton Safe Outdoors, Triggers and Bows, Deluxe Wall Tents, Hypnos, Canadian Outdoor Warehouse, Just for Does, Redline Powercraft, and these other fine partners. This portion of Hitman Canada is brought to you by Triggers and Bows. Triggers and Bows is a family-owned business in Brantford, Ontario. Visit Triggers and Bows for all your gun, archery, and accessory needs. Also visit them online at triggersandbows.com.
Why doesn't that ever happen to us? Usually our antelope hunts consist of days on end in a hot blind, me keeping a sharp eye out for antelope, and you reading or catching up on a book or something like that.
You're saying that I do the sleeping?
Yeah, that's how I remember it.
Wait a minute. Let's just tell the real story here.
That was so photoshopped.
It was not. You're always like that.
Anyways, I think Anthony's in the right spot. He's got goats coming in. He's definitely in the right spot.
Let's join Anthony as he does some pre-hunt practice.
Photoshopped.
Well, I just wanted to shed a little light on how I prepare for my hunts. I'm preparing for my mule deer and antelope combo hunt in eastern Montana. It may require some shooting savvy, so I'm going to try and hit this Lifesavers candy at 20 yards. See if we can do it. So I'm going to try a shot at 100 yards. Before you start filling up my voicemail, my email, and attacking me on Facebook, I don't advocate for 1 second for anyone to shoot at a live animal at 100 yards with archery tackle. Let's get that out of the way immediately. I'm just doing this as a training exercise. I do this because if I can consistently hit the mark at 100 yards and a mule deer stands up out of his bed at 60 yards, it's going to be like shooting a freight car.
Well, great shooting, Anthony. It looks like you're dialed right in.
You know, Anthony's the one that sets up my bow.
Yeah.
And funny, it doesn't quite shoot that good.
Well, maybe it has to do with the person behind the bow.
Wow. Wow.
Anyways, let's join Anthony back in Montana.
Wow.
Well, it's day 2 in the antelope blind here in eastern Montana. I'm whispering because we just got in and got set up. We're hoping that something's going to move. We've seen some mule deer. Just kind of a recap for yesterday. We set up. It was first thing in the morning. As soon as it was light enough, we weren't even really ready. I had an antelope come in, and he looked like a pretty good buck. He came to the decoy, but he got a little bit downwind of the decoy and sort of didn't like the smell, I guess. And so he backed off. We never got a shot at him. He appeared a couple of times in the distance throughout the day. At the end of the day, he came in with a bunch of does. But again, very spooky. Couldn't get a shot at him. Didn't like the position of the decoy. Didn't like the smell, I guess, or whatever. So we're gonna stick with it, and we're gonna give it a try here. It's day 2, so we're optimistic. We want to get our antelope down so we can move on to hunting mule deer. Stick with us.
I was pretty confident that if those goats had the opportunity to go to that water hole without any problems a few times, they'd calm down, and then it would be goat soup. These things are skittish though, so if I'm going to get a shot opportunity, it's going to be a split-second opportunity at long range, at least long range for this Ontario boy. Pauses by a sage bush. I range him at 51 yards. Takes 2 more steps. Vitals are in the clear. Sweet success.
Hitman Canada's video and post-production services brought to you by Digital Moose Media. For truly Canadian outdoor videography and television professionals, contact info@digitalmoosemedia.ca.
Yeah, that was unreal. That was unbelievable. I had to shoot over my cameraman's back. I thought my limb was going to hit his back. He was practically laying on the floor. 52 yards. I whacked him. I heard the thud, and then he ran about 25 yards and piled up. Yeah, that guy has been giving us fits for 2 days now. This is the 4th time that he's been in here where I could get a crack at him, but I couldn't shoot him because of on the wrong side of the blind or just some crazy stuff going on where I couldn't get a shot at him. And he is down. He's a nice goat. Fantastic. First antelope goat here in eastern Montana with Jeff Jerome, Deep in the Bush Adventures. Jeff, you did it, buddy. This is an excellent operation he's got going here. He's got all kinds of goats, all kinds of antelope here. They're running everywhere. Beautiful mule deer. I got a combination hunt going, so I'm going to have a beautiful mule deer now that I can, or a beautiful goat, and I'm going to go after a beautiful mule deer. I better not start counting my chickens before they hatch. But I think it's going to be, there's been a lot of muleys around, so we're going to go out and we're going to spot and stalk a muley. Let's go have a look at that goat.
So by now, you're asking, where's the kill shot? Well, in our haste to get the shot off, because as you saw, he wasn't giving us a lot of time. The cameraman, when he switched windows, he did the old dreaded double tap on the record button. You know, it happens. I'm not going to beat the guy up about it. He spent 28 hours and 2 days sitting in that blind with me. He made a mistake that lots of way more experienced cameramen have made. You know, it's filming these hunts for television is very difficult. So, you know, there's nothing you can do about it after the fact. No use crying over spilt milk, as it were. So, you know, I mean, I was happy to have a really good goat to take home. And I think that all in all, it went well. I apologize for not having the kill shot, but we'll work on that. Right there. Well, he's a nice goat. I'm very happy. He's not very high, but he really arcs back nicely. He's got a beautiful heart shape. His cutters, I hope you can see that, they curve in like that, and they're quite wide. He's got a bit of mass on the bottoms. He's a real nice goat. It's my first antelope. I'm really happy with him. I'm here with Jeff Jerome at Deep in the Bush Outfitters, and I'm really happy with him. He's done a great job for us. He's put us in right on the antelope every day. I've seen hundreds of mule deer. I can't wait. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna start now and get a mule deer, hunt for a mule deer. Anyway, I better not count my chickens before they're hatched, but I'm gonna work hard at it. I've got 4 more days, so I think we should have a good chance. But from what I've been seeing around here, there's a ton of them. I'm really happy with my antelope. I'm gonna cape them out and take them home. I'll mount them and put them in my trophy room. Fantastic.
Great antelope, Anthony. Tough break on not getting that kill shot.
Yeah, we debated long and hard about not airing this episode without the kill shot, but Anthony had everything else, and it was a great hunt, and you know, we've all done it.
Yes, we have. Well, let's join Anthony as he attempts to put a smack down on a mule deer with his bow.
We're in our stand. First morning on the mule deer hunt. Yesterday, I shot a real nice pope and young antelope with my bow. I'm really happy with him. I'm really happy with Jeff, the way he set us up on these blinds and stands and stuff. We're looking over a nice alfalfa field right now, and there's been some whitetails in it. We're waiting on a big muley buck, so stick with us and we'll see if we can put one down.
Well, the muleys didn't show that morning, but a little later on, a nice elk come trotting along there. He come up out of a river bottom and ran up into the hills, and it was neat to see that. Really nice elk too. Not a monster, but just really nice looking elk.
This wind is kicking the crap out of us. A real bad weather front's coming in. We're trying to get our mule deer done before it gets here. So what we're gonna do is slip into this coulee. We've seen a bunch of deer bedded in here in past days. So we're gonna try and just work this coulee real easy. Look over the edge and just kind of work our way along the rim and see if we can't get in here.
This portion of Hitman Canada is brought to you by Triggers and Bows. Triggers and Bows is a family-owned business in Brantford, Ontario. Visit Triggers and Bows for all your gun, archery, and accessory needs. Also visit them online at triggersandbows.com.
Well, it looks like the weather's not really cooperating. It's kind of getting windy and cold.
Yeah, it's going to be cold for a while.
Are you talking about us or the show here?
The show, of course.
Anyways, well, maybe with this wind, it'll help Anthony with his stalking efforts.
Yeah, let's just see what happens.
We spent the next 2 days spotting and stalking in the coulees and the bluffs, but the weather turned really, really nasty. High winds, pelting rain. Pretty tough, pretty tough. We managed to kick up a coyote, and on the last day, I climbed out onto this huge point overlooking this big draw. And I saw a nice buck bedding down in there. So we immediately got a plan together, and we were after him.
We've spotted a beautiful big bruiser of a buck. He's bedded on that great big ridge. We're gonna try and slip down along the fence line that runs parallel to it. It's kind of a long shot. He's not in a great place for us to do a stalk, but we're gonna give it a try. He's a beautiful big buck. And we're gonna slip in here on the top side. The wind is good for the top side. We're gonna kind of just come in parallel to him a little bit. And he got up, he looked our way, but we backed right out of there. And I think he's gone back and bedded under those junipers on the slope there in a little coulee. We're gonna try and get on him.
Wow, Anthony, that was really close.
Yeah. Have I ever told you how much I hate stalking? Especially out west. It's wide open, there's no cover, there's cactus everywhere. I suck at stalking.
Well, Anthony's not done yet. He's still chasing that buck.
Climbed up to the top and made a big loop around about a mile. and then we dropped down just where we were going to parallel the buck. All of a sudden, this younger buck stands up across from the draw from us, but he doesn't bolt. He's looking at us, but I put the rangefinder on him and the battery's dead. I couldn't tell, was he 60 yards? Was he 70 yards? It's nothing but sky blue between us, and this is my first mule deer, so I opted to pass. Well, all in all, an awesome hunt with Jeff Jerome at Deep in the Bush Outfitters in eastern Montana. Can't wait to go back next year for a muley. And Jeff, this year, I'll have brand new batteries in my rangefinder.
Wow, Anthony, that's a tough one.
Yeah, but without a rangefinder, bud, you just can't take that shot.
And that country is so open, it's almost impossible to guess the range.
Yeah, good call, bud. Heart-wrenching, but good call not to make that shot.
Well, thanks for watching this week's episode of Hitman Canada. Keep it real and join us next week for another exciting episode.
Remember, we're all Canadian all the time.
Hey, thanks for watching Hitman Canada this week. Do you have what it takes to be a part of the Hitman Canada? If you think you do, email Steve and Jackie at shores@hitmancanada.ca.
When 2 shakes of an antelope's tail, we're going to be there and goat soup.